Oh,
Hello,
there he is.
Roger.
Yeah, he dialed in.
Okay.
They just told me.
I'll take the roll.
Director Finch,
Here.
Director Bagley,
Here.
Director Johnston,
Here.
Director Thielke,
Here.
and Chair Hages.
Here.
Thank you.
All right, director announcements. We'll start with water conservation. Oh, excuse me. Start with the mutuals. Peter?
Nothing to report.
Okay, Jim, Water Conservation District.
Nothing to report this go around.
Okay. Johnny, City of Ojai.
No, nothing to report this time.
All right. Russ, Casitas.
Casitas is 39.7% full, which is equivalent to 94,457 acre feet.
Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
All right, I don't have anything. General manager comments.
Yeah, I'm gonna apologize profusely for this agenda. It's a real mess. I thought I'd gotten some documents that were the correct ones and they were drafts. I looked in the wrong place and so I don't have the financials for this month. So apparently I have them. They were just sent under another email. So I will email those personally to each of you. And then in January, I'll bring all that stuff back to you so you can take a look at it and comment on it. But, and then the minutes for September, you approved them last meeting, but we didn't include them in the agenda. So I brought them back and they were the draft minutes, not the final minutes. So on the consent calendar tonight, I'm going to ask you to approve the October minutes because those appear to be complete, but we'll have to bring back the September minutes. And I will make sure that I look at this a little more closely next time.
Okay. Next item is basin status report.
All right, unmuted.
Raglan.
Yeah, well, he's in the car, but I'll give the report. We continue to monitor as we do the water levels in the Keywell area and the Elrod well. I believe a portion of the hydrograph was included in the agenda package that was sent out because we actually ended up getting this earlier this week. The depth to water of 143.98 was actually physically manually measured. And we do that from time to time just to double check what we're getting from the loggers. And in this case, the logger was actually out of the well, laying on the ground. So the Elrod folks had done some sort of maintenance and removed the OBGMA's logger and cable. So we were able to double check the measurements, and then we'll reset that logger. Plenty of storage on it, and I think they just did some pump maintenance, and the guys who pulled it out didn't want to put it back in. And I appreciate that because sometimes when they do that, they set it to the wrong depth or nick it or otherwise damage it or get it stuck, and we want to avoid that. That depth to water is very similar to last month. It appears that we're at or near a nadir given the colder temperatures in the basin. So I think we're in good shape in that regard, probably nearing the bottom of the annual recession of groundwater levels in the basin. And as you'll note on that hydrograph, only about 1.5 feet deeper than, or 2.5 feet deeper than what we saw at the nadir of last year. So very similar conditions, and of course hoping for rain and getting a turnaround at some point this water year. A couple other things we've done on the logger side. The loggers at the San Antonio Creek Spreading Grounds Rehabilitation Project depth discrete monitoring well have all run out of their batteries. I was able to replace one earlier this week with a logger that I had in my arsenal at the time. So we've gone from 5 loggers there to 1 right now, just in the basal alluvial aquifer that's represented by that depth discrete monitoring well. The the other 4 loggers have to be shipped to Canada, so they're en route now for arrival next Monday, Pearl Harbor Day, to be downloaded of their data by the manufacturer and have the batteries replaced. So we'll be without those data points for some time, probably for the next month, until we're able to reset that. On the discharge side, as you know, we measure on a monthly basis the flow straight out of the Ojai Basin as surface flow, and not surprisingly, we're at or near a nadir at this point. Our November 30th measurement of outflow was 0.52 CFS across the basin boundary, so just about half a CFS exiting the basin continually over the course of that time, and of course some modifications daily as the evenings are cooler and less plant uptake is transpiring in the water in the watersheds. How does that compare to the water levels in the basin? We've updated the we've updated the graphs and such to be able to demonstrate that graphically. Not a lot of change from last month on this either. I don't know if John was able to share this with everyone. We emailed this to him earlier, and very similar to last month on the discharge side. The other thing that we've done on the discharge side is actually on behalf, request of Mary Bergen, former Casitas board member and OBGMA board member, we were able to conduct a synchronous, concordant snapshot water quality survey in San Antonio Creek leaving the basin. We're awaiting all the laboratory results there, but the idea was to see if there were any bedrock contributions or any differentiation in water quality in San Antonio Creek over the course of its run from the Ojai Basin to the Ventura River at the confluence. And to do that, we picked 10 locations where we simultaneously, with a crew of 10 people, collected snapshot samples of the water quality for nutrients mostly, general mineral, and we're learning quite a bit about that over the course of those water quality data coming in. So interestingly, the first thing we see is nitrate, and we see nitrate concentrations pretty high at the point of daylighting groundwater in the Ojai Basin, which actually further supports the idea of a perch aquifer contribution. We know the perch aquifer has a higher nitrate concentration than the deeper producing zones of the basin, and then it attenuates relatively quickly. By the time the creek gets to Camp Comfort, it's a 0 nitrates or non-detect, and it holds that all the way down to Old Creek Road Bridge over the ensuing 8 samples that we took from Camp Comfort on down. So be on the lookout for more information on that. It's not specifically an OBGMA project, but it is something that is of interest and note to the discharge from the basin and continuing along our conceptual understanding of the basin. So there's the brief report, and I appreciate the time.
Any questions? Okay, the next item is public comments. Is there anyone from the public who would like to comment? Okay, hearing none. Next item is the consent agenda, which is the October 29th regular board meeting minutes. You have a motion?
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
And a third,
And a third, yes.
I think.
And just to clarify, that's only for the minutes of October 29th.
Okay. We call the roll?
Director Finch,
Yes.
Director Baggerly,
Yes.
Director Johnston,
Yes.
Director Thielke,
Yes.
and Chair Hages.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item is, John, we're just going to wait till next time for this.
Yeah, skip over 8A because I included September's financials in your October meeting. So I'll send you the October by email, and then we'll bring them back at the January meeting.
Okay, item B, service recognition for 2 board members. John?
Yes, well, as I mentioned last meeting, and unfortunately we have 2 directors that are leaving, and we put together, we got a couple of plaques, and this is one of them. I don't know if it's showing up. Does anybody see that? No.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There.
Okay, that's one of them. I don't know if that other one, you're sharing the screen.
Russ. Yeah, he's,
You see both of them? By any chance?
I see Russ's.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. And so they pretty much say the same thing. We have Director Baggerly from 2005 to 2020 and Director Johnston from 2007 to 2020. So we appreciate your service. I've enjoyed working with both of you, and I think the board's going to be at a loss for having you both leave. So I don't know if anybody else has anything to say.
How much time do we have?
It doesn't take much. We appreciate it.
This is what Director Johnson's looks like.
I think, as I said in my email, I think for these virtual meetings, a virtual plaque is perfectly appropriate.
I agree.
I have a small house, so I don't know if I'm even going to be able to find some place to hang it up.
Oh,
Well, you know, it's big enough to make a door out of, Russ.
Yeah, and it's made out of wood, so you can always use it in the fireplace. But
Yeah. I would.
I'll be
I would
bringing
like-
those to Ojai on Wednesday.
well, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
And I'd like to say,
Let me say something,
With
okay,
both.
John? I want to thank the board. I want to thank all of the staff that's been there to help. We've done a lot of work over the years, and I think it's been meaningful. At least I hope it has been. And OBGMA will have a soft spot in my heart forever. Thank you.
Hear, hear.
no, Russ, I think what you and what OBGMA has done is amazing, and why the state did not accept our alternate plan is beyond me, because I think you guys had done a lot in the past.
I agree, Jim. It was a failure that I'll have to put up with.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think there was logic on their part. They just wanted everybody to waste money.
I agree.
So
And I'm
thank you.
sorry it didn't work out.
Yeah, no, thank you for your service, though, and Johnny.
Thank you.
Well, I've known Russ and Johnny for a long, long time. So we're different, each of us with different hats on. So, but we all come from the same community in Ojai, and I'm sure we'll continue to see each other as time goes on. So thank you to both of you.
Okay, well, let me thank you who are continuing to serve your community. We all know that it's I won't say it's unappreciated. It sometimes goes unnoticed, and unfortunately, when it does get noticed, it's usually for the wrong reasons. People are mad at us for something. But, that's just part of the deal. So I appreciate what you do.
I think you're leaving office in the middle of a pandemic. That's probably partly your fault.
Yeah, well, I'm running for cover.
Yeah, everything is a disaster. The economy's tanking.
Yeah. Dystopia. Tuesday night, I'm going to ask to have the name of the city changed.
Anyway, thank you to both of you. And I'm sure we'll
Thank
see
you, Richard.
you around town.
Yep.
Okay, next is information items. Do we have any update on our sustainability plan, John?
yeah, I don't know, Trey, if you were going to say anything. Trey did provide a draft of chapters 1 and 2. They still need a lot of work, but I know Jordan and I are reviewing them. And so that's the first go around of any kind of written documentation. Also, they'll be bringing forward soon is the outreach and communication plan. So expect to see that probably in the next month or so. Trey, you want to update us?
Yeah, as you said, John, good segue from all the work that was done for the alternative. We have a complete internal working draft of chapters 1 and 2. We did that in 2 months, so we're on schedule as far as that goes. Kudos to all the work that's already been done in the basin. Other basins have taken over a year to complete those first 2 chapters. So definitely on schedule where that goes, and looking forward to working with John and Jordan to get their local knowledge incorporated into those chapters and updated. So once John and Jordan have had the opportunity to go through those chapters, they will be ready to review. And then we are updating the stakeholder engagement plan now that we kind of have all the background information on the plan area and basin setting, water budget, sustainable yield. Now that we have that kind of in one place, we'll be ready to jump into sustainable management criteria in 2021. So expect a lot more to be happening in 2021 on the GSP. And if you have any questions, I'm available to answer them.
Any questions? All right, thank you. Next item is director appointments. John, do you have something?
The only thing I just wanted to mention on here is typically if they're the new appointments, they will be taken, they'll be done in January. The city did contact OBGMA and asked for the original legislation for OBGMA and asking how board seats were determined, and they wanted to know if the mayor had to be on OBGMA, and the enabling legislation does not require the mayor of Ojai to be on the OBGMA board, so they can choose to appoint whoever they choose. And I know there's a meeting next week. I don't know if there's going to be an appointment made, Director Johnston.
It'll be made in January, the first
January?
meeting. Yeah.
Okay. And then we still need to figure out what we're going to do for the Community Services District. So until those appointments are going to be, until they're made, we're going to be short 2 of the 5 board members. But, and we will need all 3 for a quorum.
Okay, the city's alternate though is Ryan.
Okay, yes.
So,
Yes.
So you still have the city covered.
Right. And actually Bob Daddy, I believe, is the backup. Well, actually Bob was the backup, I thought, for Russ.
No, he's a backup.
Backup for community? Okay. Okay. All right. So we'll.
You contacted him? I believe he is interested in serving. There's 1 year left, I think, on the term.
Okay. I will check with him and
I haven't talked to him, but
yeah, convey and see what he wants to do. So we'll make sure we try and get that all taken care of. Whoever comes on will need to take the oath of office. And then as a segue, each year the directors are required to file annual statements, Form 700s. So those will need to be done. And then Directors Johnston and Director Baggerly will need to file leaving office statements.
Right.
Within 30 days of leaving office.
Okay, I'll do it.
We'll make sure you get those.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
all right. Anyone have anything else?
Nothing here.
Adios.
Have a holiday.
Yeah, happy holidays. Don't catch anything.
Yeah.
All right, we're adjourned at 3:23.
All right.